and welcome to Near TV's Culture Night event 2015. I'm Antonia Moore and we are broadcasting live from the National College of Art and Design here in the heart of the Liberties. I'm going to pass you to Michelle.
Thank you, Antonia. I'm Michelle McCormack, and tonight we're going to be bringing you some of the entertainment taking place in NCD tonight. We're delighted to show you what's happening on the streets and behind the doors tonight. And NearFM will have a great lineup showing you all that happens here tonight. Near TV have been busy having some establishments over the past week that are taking part in Culture Night tonight. We have some videos lined up to give you some glimpse at home of what is happening.
Thanks. There's a great atmosphere here tonight so far. The streets are absolutely packed. There's queues going around the church, Christchurch, all over town. There's stalls, there's arts, there's crafts, there's a whole lot going on. Well, what have we got going on right now? First up, we're actually going to the Teeling Distillery is where we're actually going to be going next, and they're going to tell us all about it. And it's one of the much loved distilleries that is actually in the centre of the Liberties in Dublin as well.
My name is Jack Teeling. I'm the founder and managing director of the Teeling Whisky Company, and we're in Newmarket Square, slap bang in the heart of the Liberties, in our brand new Teeling Whisky Distillery, which is the first new distillery in Dublin in over 125 years. Our family has been in the whisky business for multiple generations. Myself and my brother are just the latest generations of Teeling involved. This is where our family first started in Irish whisky, and was also the epicenter for the last golden era for Irish whisky back in the 19th century. The Liberties in particular was famous for the distilleries, along with other things like brothels and God knows what, but it was the centre of all manufacturing and industry in the city. There was a certain area that was called the Golden Triangle because there was such a cluster of large distilleries, and it was from these that Irish whisky dominated the global sales of whisky, when we controlled 60% of all exports of whisky. Now that we're back in a new golden era for Irish whisky, it's only right that we, the Teelings, are back in the Liberties, reviving distilling in the city. We officially opened for visitors to come in and see what we do on the 9th of June 2015. We've had the guts of 10,000 people through over that period of time, and long may it continue. We're very proud to be part of the Culture Night. We're doing several events to support it. For the actually opening evening, we're having a group of 60 through here to see the distillery in operation and have a taste of one or two of our whiskies. On the night itself, we're having multiple tours open to anyone who's interested to come through, meet the people who actually make the whiskey, taste the whiskey, and have a bit of a food pairing with it as well. So very excited to integrate into the local community and to, let's say, highlight the culture and history of making whiskey in Dublin, and just bringing something different to the group of businesses that are already involved. The Liberties are going through a whole range of rejuvenation. There's a lot of new, let's say, arts and crafts coming into the area, but it's interwoven with the existing community that's here. And it's this combination of the old and new cultures and communities that is directly relevant to what we do. And it fills us full of pride to be able to come back to the Liberties and revive an industry long associated with not only this area but also our family.
Next up, NearFM have a singer-songwriter, Kate Dineen. Sit back and enjoy.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, you want to give us the name of the song?
Yeah, it's called Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, my darling, don't say it's the end, 'cause I could never feel this way again. You always knew that I could never tell the truth, and I'll pop up now and again and let you know what's been happening. And sorry, it's all I can say. Said so much now, it's lost meaning. But you've ruled my mind for too long a time. It's not my way to make you stay here with me. And you'll go now where I can't follow. And his goodbye's a hard word to swallow. I'll go back where you won't see the ways I forget you and me, or how I try push you from my mind so you won't see how much you meant to me. I can't live up to what you'd expect me to be.
Now we're going to take a look at the Chester Beatty Library, situated in Dublin Castle. They open every year for Culture Night with thousands of visitors. Check it out.
My name is Fadula Croak, and you're very welcome to the Chester Beatty Library, and I'm director here at the library. Culture Night's always a great night here at the Chester Beatty. We'll stay open till 10 p.m. and we'll have several thousand visitors over the extra few hours that we're open. So we're part of, the complex within the city that are remaining open. We have our permanent collections open, and we have free guided tours at 7:30 and 8:30. And then we always have a temporary exhibition open for Culture Night as well. And this year we're opening Darley's Wicked Wit. So Matthew and Mary Darley were two 18th century cartoonists, if you like. They made satirical prints. They were a husband and wife team. We're free to the public, and we're free all evening up to 10 p.m. on Culture Night. Chester Beatty really left an extraordinary legacy to the country when he gifted the collection to the nation. Chester Beatty was just an extraordinary person. He was born in 1875 in New York. He went to the Columbia School of Mines and graduated top of his class in 1898, and he headed west to Colorado on the train just as soon as he graduated. And there weren't many jobs for young graduates from Columbia University, so he had to start literally as a mucker, mucking out the mines. Very quickly made his way to becoming a consultant engineer for the Guggenheim Exploration Company. Made his first real fortune doing that. And then moved to the UK in about 1912 and set up a company there called Selection Trust, which became a big conglomerate that existed until the 1980s, when it was sold in the 1980s. So he had great resources to invest in his great passion, which of course was collecting. So in 1950, Beatty just decided to move up stakes and move with his collection from the UK to Ireland, lock, stock and barrel. And really, I think that the reason that the only reason he's really given is that he was unhappy with the Labour government that came into power after the Second World War. So he came to Ireland, and the Irish authorities really facilitated that move in every way possible. And he immediately bought a house here and bought a site to build his library. And of course, the original library that Beatty built, that a lot of viewers will remember, was out on Shrewsbury Road in Ballsbridge. And we moved here to Dublin Castle in 2000 to the Clock Tower building. We're in this city centre location now, which of course is much more convenient for people to visit, and it gives us much more gallery space, and we've had much more possibilities then to sort of for our public programming and for our exhibition space. So it's been a huge improvement, let's say, in what we've been able to do. So we really see ourselves with the collection at the heart of everything. We see ourselves as really an open space, let's say, for engagement and enjoyment and discussion and good research as well on the collections. It's a very welcoming space, I hope. The Chester Beatty is free access. It has world-class collections, and everybody is made to feel very welcome when they come through the doors. And we look forward to welcoming thousands of people over the course of Culture Night again this year.
And now we're just going to listen into the last of the Lazy Bike interview.
Cyclists in Dublin, I mean, you're obviously out there every day. I mean, what's your view on it? Like, is it, accommodating or to the cyclist, or?
It's funny, because at the start of this tour we had a little instance with a taxi driver. We're finding the people that do cause or get annoyance with us are people that are driving professionally, whether it's taxis or buses. But motorists seem to be fine.
Yeah.
They can't miss us. I mean, there's 5 or 6 people dressed in orange. You're like a big Satsuma coming down the road, so they've no excuse. They can't say they didn't see you.
Yeah.
And like that, it's because it's a tourist thing. They're more accommodating. I can understand someone that's in a car 8 hours a day, getting frustrated with the traffic. Dublin isn't the easiest place to get around, and it's great that they're talking about changing it again.
Well, there is that discussion now about closing down more or less, the city centre, like, and making it more friendlier, I suppose, the cars, in public transport. And I suppose from that point of view, in terms of bicycling or cycling, it probably would free it up a lot more.
Yeah, it would. It would make my life easier in some ways. And I cycle as well, and I drive a car as well. But even like when I have a 1.5-year-old son, bringing him into town in the buggy, it's a nightmare trying to cross roads.
Yeah.
So if we have a good public system and we have a way of getting people in, they can go about their business, and it's clean and it's friendlier. The city itself wouldn't be as dusty or smelly if you took the cars out of it as well. It'd be a nicer environment to be in.
Yeah. And people that have been on your tours, I mean, do you ever get any feedback from them in terms of how they found it? I know the tours are obviously great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of what they feel back as a city to get around.
Part of what we would do. We would always ask people, like, can we improve things? Can we make things better? From the foreign tourists coming in, we've had 1 or 2 that were a little bit sceptic about cycling around, but when they got out on the bike, they loved it. They actually loved the way they could get around the city.
Yeah.
Now, we try and stay off the beaten track as much as we can, off the main streets, and any busy roads we do use, we kind of make sure there's cyclopaths on them and stuff like that, because we are conscious about people's safety. The last thing you want someone is to end up in A&E in James's Hospital for 24 hours.
Well, it would be
a
bit of a downer, I suppose. It wouldn't look good on TripAdvisor or any of those other sites that people...
So the feedback we're getting is it's all being positive,
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, that's as you say, like, I mean, we started the conversation about it, you're in another complete different area, and, now you've started a completely new business and innovative. I mean, is it difficult to get something like that off the ground?
Yeah, I still wake up every morning and think I'm mad. And it's funny because, as I said, we're only open 7 weeks, and the struggle was for the last 2 years thereabouts to get it off the ground. And then when you get it open, you think, great, I've done the work, and you realise you haven't done the work.
Yeah.
You've only done the first bit. You have to try and keep the doors open. So that's when it starts to get more interesting, that you're actually every day, I'm working twice as hard now that it's open than I was trying to get it open.
But again, it's your own business, and everyone tells you that to have your own business, it's really great. Of course, everyone says I like to have my own business, but there is a lot of work.
There's a lot of work to it. People say it's great, and you say whatever. So you speak to my partner and my son, and they turn around and go, Daddy's going out the door at 7 o'clock in the morning, and he might be home till 11 o'clock tonight. It doesn't go down too well, but it's a means to an end.
He won't be saying that like when he's when the money's rolling in, like.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, listen, I'm looking across here, I can see the bikes, they're all lined up there, and you do actually have a tour with you?
Yeah, we're in the middle of a tour.
No,
we're doing a thing with Culture Night tonight, like everybody should.
Yeah.
It's a great thing to do. We're doing 4 tours this evening, they're all free of charge.
Okay, well listen, I hope the excitement is still continuing from all those years ago when you first got on a bike.
It is.
Thanks for coming into us here
Thank
and
you.
having a chat with us here on Community Radio here in the National Art Gallery courtyard, and I better let you go and get those people out around the city.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
And right up for what we have on store for you right now is NearTV meets Garrod Humphreys in the new theatre, which is based in Temple Bar. So right now we're going to check out his video, and also we're going to find out what else is happening on Culture Night tonight.
everybody. My name is Gerald Humphreys, and I'm the author of a new play called Lockdown, which has been staged and produced by the New Theatre here in Essex Street in Temple Bar in Dublin. You'll all know it. It's Connolly Books, and the theatre is behind it. The New Theatre does exciting new work. This is a new piece of work. It's called Lockdown, which is what happens every time a member of the royal family chooses to visit Ireland. We all get locked up. Basically, what it's about the rehearsal that took place here a few months ago for the 1916 ceremony that's to take place next year. But it's a kind of blow-up. It's a conflict between spin doctors, military personnel, and politicians, which is pretty much what's going on at the moment. And it's on from the 5th to the 10th of October here in the New Theatre, but more importantly for Culture Night, it's open to everybody to come along, where excerpts of the play, the most dramatic pieces, are going to be staged, and the audience will be invited for their feedback, because how we celebrate or commemorate or remember war in Ireland is critically important, and that's what this play is about. Everyone is invited to the New Theatre for Culture Night, because Culture Night is to encourage people to get involved in the arts and to come into the theatre. And the theatre is open, it's free of charge, and the actors will reenact the most dramatic pieces of the play, and the audience can give their feedback, because it's important in the development of new works, how it appears and how it goes down. So look forward to seeing you all there.
So Antonia, you were around town today.
Yes.
So you were, what did you do?
What did I do? I checked out in Temple Bar actually, Martin Clancy, he's doing a Ableton DJ night there tonight. It was packed, there's loads of people coming in, checking out like how to do the software, how to DJ, checking out all the tools, and similar to Pro Tools but not quite. He does evening classes actually there every once a week for 15 weeks, and it's worth it. You should check it out actually. You can check him out online actually, martinclancy.com. He did a lot of DJing over the years in New York, and he's done some work with Head Candy and a whole load of other DJ dance artists, like, so he's really good and really interesting to talk to.
Really deadly. So
really good.
where was he, what was he doing, like where is he based tonight?
He was inside the Sound Training College in Temple Bar, and they had like a whole array of computers and DJ equipment set up there just for people to kind of go in and actually learn, and just, it's all free. You can go in and check it out. There's a guy there in the DJ booth, like, beating out the tunes.
It's absolutely amazing what you actually can do on Culture Night. Like, I mean, like, you don't get access to that kind of equipment if you're not involved in Culture Night. If you don't come out and have a bit of a laugh on Culture Night, you don't actually get to ever touch that stuff. And it really brings in people who would never ever touch that kind of equipment and never be interested in sound or DJing, and gives them a way into it, which I think is really class. It's really brilliant.
100%, you said it all. Yeah, no, it was really great actually. It was great to see everybody kind of getting into it, like, and all the students were there. He had a projector up and he was going through all the software and how you do it, and there was students there that do his course as well that were showing you how to use all the buttons and a little bit, freaky fresh all the way. It was really good. It was really fun actually. Yeah, it would have been perfect. So Michelle, what did you get up to anyway? You were around town as well tonight, weren't you?
I was in town tonight. I was in the Little Museum of Dublin. In that today they've two permanent exhibitions on, kind of a really 19th century one with gorgeous ball gowns and beautiful artifacts and objects from that time, and then they kind of have another permanent exhibition that is really from that kind of the 1900s. It's the one that everybody really has been talking about for the last while. It's actually been on expose a week or two ago. I watched it and thought it was really class. So really do check it out. And they also have been voted #1 museum in Ireland on TripAdvisor today, so congrats to them. But now, next up, we're going to go over to the Jam Art Factory, and we speak to Mark Hayburn. The Jam Factory was established in 2011 on Patrick Street, and we're going to see what they have planned for this evening and see what Culture Night means to them.
This is Jam Art Factory. It's an Irish arts and design shop. We stock products from local artists and designers from all over Ireland. It was set up 4 years ago by myself and my brother John, and yeah, we're located in the Liberties area between Christchurch and St Patrick's Cathedral on Patrick Street there. We basically sell different kind of illustrations by local artists and designers. We sell ceramics, jewellery, all handmade kind of things like that, unique kind of present. The main thing we do is sell Irish design, so it's basically all different nationalities, but it's as long as you're living in Ireland. We're not afraid to take a chance with new things and try different kind of, like, because design and illustration and that kind of thing are changing all the time, and people always have different ideas, so coming straight from college is always good because they're always fresh. And like, we have around 50 artists and designers at the moment. At one stage we had around 120 or so, but we just don't have enough space to show it all, unfortunately. There was a sense of change around the area. Like NCAD obviously is great. Thomas Street area and all the different kind of tourist things around the area, like St Patrick's Cathedral, Christchurch Cathedral, and Chester Beatty Library, the double castle behind us here. Over the last few years, you've seen a lot of things kind of popping up throughout the Liberties area. Like there's the Fun Valley Cafe up the road, and then there's the Bite of Life Cafe, which has been going quite a while, but it's great. It's a nice little cafe there. And Teeling's Whiskey Distillery just opened up there recently, and the Ivy Market's just opened up around the corner in the next few years or so. So a lot going on. Newmarket Square is so vibrant as well, with the flea market and all different markets they have on every weekend there. For Culture Night, we're showcasing all our designers that we have here at the moment. So there'll be pieces by Jacob Stack. He's quite an exciting kind of prospect. There's a lot of excitement around his work lately. Like, he's done a lot of pieces. Like, he had an exhibition. It was part of a group exhibition in New York. Like, we'll have a lot of street art on show. So there's going to be work by Sullis. He's a local Dublin street artist. DMC, a few different people like that. And then also people that are recent graduates from NCAD. Because Culture Night, it's great. Like, you see people out enjoying themselves, and they're not exactly like, it's like Patrick's Day without the drink. They expect it to be quite